The kids are down. The wife's asleep.
So in 4 hours, you drank 15 Busch Lights.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 8 o'clock, that's when you checked out and your wife had to deal with you.
Night time.
Night time.
Yeah.
Crack a beer. Pour a bourbon. It's After Dark. On ESPN Louisville Plus. Subscribe and smash that freaking like button. Now here's Justin Soforo.
Soforo. How do you
Soforo.
say Soforo? No, it's fur. It's fur, not four. That's why it's fur, man.
Soforo.
There you go.
I mean, it's the same thing. Soforo. I don't know. Soforo? Soforo, my bad.
No, Soforo.
Here's Justin Soforo.
All right, what's cooking? Welcome back in to another edition of After Dark on ESPN Louisville Plus. I'm Justin Soforo. Joining me today are two very special guests. We might have another person or two join in later. But my guy, Andy Sweeney, and the big rig, James Streble. How's it going, my guys? You guys staying safe, staying warm, staying safe from ice? Everybody doing okay? You're protected from ice?
Everyone's fine. Dude, Streble looks like the guy, you know that guy that got tased on the floor at like the middle school game? Streble looks like the guy who gets tased outside of a youth baseball stadium right now. Doesn't he?
I kind of do.
Yes. Yeah, you do.
He kind of does. That's the first thing I thought when I saw him.
I got my daughter's softball team gear on right now, so it actually fits, Andy. That was actually a good guess by you.
How many fights have you started at a youth league? Have you ever gotten like heated a little bit, or are you the dad who's like, is your wife the one that's doing it, and you're like, hey, it's okay.
It's my
We're gonna be all right.
wife's the one doing it. It's not me. My wife she's a firebrand. She's the one that speaks up to the umps and the other team's fans. It's not me. I don't know anything about the sport enough to interject or say if it's right or wrong. I just sit back and chill and watch my kids. That's all I do.
Okay. Well,
but the problem with that is if she ever says the thing to the wrong person, then you're the one that's got to take care of it. And then suddenly, instead of a relaxing day, now you have to jump in. Now you're the main attraction. Now you're FC. Dieter's there with his son. They're betting on it. DraftKings minus 118.
I want to see
a mortgage on it.
I'll cross that bridge when I get there. By the way, Dieter's stunting in Vegas.
Oh yeah, of course he is.
Did you see that Sofro? He's got like a suite.
Oh no, I didn't see this.
It's him and Max, like drinks and food and everything, as they watch dudes beat each other up. It was perfect. It was great. And watching Chip for him. Yeah,
I want to see somebody that's like Max Diener's side, like with his size, like having Streble in the chokehold, like some other dad, just a smaller, not a massive dude, but a dude who knows what he's doing. He just has Streble on the ground, in a rear naked chokehold. That's what I want.
Well, if the weather wasn't so bad, I'd really think Drew would have went to the Broncos game and then Cameron Indoor Monday for Louisville and Duke. How about that?
Oh yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah, Sofro's feeling good about it now. MIKEL's back. MIKEL's back. They're a top 10 team instantly with MIKEL back. I mean, they're just going to walk into Cameron Indoor and put it right to Cam Boozer.
It's done. It's done. It's done. We have 4 games in a row where Louisville handled Duke in the first half. Now the second half's taken care of. MIKEL's going to do his work, big boy. He's going to go out there, put was it Cam Boozer, and who's the other Boozer? What's the other? Is Cam Boozer the other one that I need to know about, or am I? Oh, Caden. Yeah, we'll talk about Caden later. That's fine. I'm worried about Cam Boozer right now. Let me get Ethan in here. Give me just a sec.
Oh boy, here he comes.
Oh, here we go.
The show's here, big dog.
Louisville Sports Live is here. Represent.
Taylor Lynch was going to join, but he's still protesting from people talking about IU winning the college football national title.
It's covered too much on local news. I had Locke clap back at him. Out of all people, Locke
out of all people,
back at him.
Locke gave a thumbs up, Streble, to his meteorologist who nailed I guess that we were going to get less snow. And I'm like, if it's not Wes Callison, I don't know who it is. I don't know who this guy is. Like, why don't you tweet this out beforehand, Locke? I mean, I need the prediction before the game. I need the prediction before the game, not after the game. How does that sound? Come on,
right,
please.
And that's kind of I do kind of want to start with that a little bit because I saw Streble was getting a little bit mouthy on Twitter, and I was kind of feeling the same way about Snowmageddon. Like, did we get Snowmageddon? Like, I haven't left my house, to be fair, but I've also looked outside and I've noticed that the inches didn't pile up as much as I was told. I was told that I was going to have a foot long. I was told I was going to be knee deep in this stuff. And instead it's serviceable. It's enough to get me out a day of work tomorrow. But at the same time, it's not enough to really take care of me for the long haul. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of like how bad, because I also saw Streble kind of walk it back a little bit. Well, maybe we got a little bit more than I thought. Maybe there's a few more inches.
It wasn't that bad this morning. We probably got about, I'd say, 3 inches, and then it snowed all day over in southern Indiana. I probably have about 7 inches right now of snow. I didn't clear off my driveway yet. I'm going to do it tomorrow at some point because it started coming down. My poor neighbor across the street, he cleared his driveway. It's covered again. It's covered.
Dude, it sucks, man. It was so heavy after that. Whatever snowed today, I was out there shoveling. I had to take like 2 or 3 different periods off, dude, to get it all done. It was miserable.
See, I'm poor enough that like my driveway is not that long yet. Like, I haven't gotten to the point where I have like a real driveway. So it's, it's like, I don't know, like, I mean, 20 yards. I don't know, maybe not 20 yards, 15 yards, something like that. I guess we're gonna go with that system. So I'm just gonna drive over it. I've got an Explorer. I'm not gonna worry about it. My wife, she can deal with it. It's fine. The Acura will be fine.
You guys are not Ethan or I, but Furman and Streble, they're the neighbors where everyone else is like trying to, tidy up the little sidewalk area or clean out the driveway. And theirs is they waddle to the window, they look out, they say, this storm's overrated. Weinberg whiffed, he's a bum. And then they just waddle off and they get on and they do a stream at 9:00. That's basically,
right.
well, I did clean mine off. Listen, here's the answer. The answer is yes and no, but for us, it's yes. A complete weatherman and weatherwoman whiff the whiff king. We have a new whiff king. It used to be Mark Pope, but he went after 5 stars, not in the state of Kentucky. Or the whiff king, Pat Kelsey, because he's never going to get another one and done again. But instead, we have a new whiff king. It's called all the meteorologists. 11 inches my ass. I went out there on the peak when it finished today, 5.5 inches. Save that. Go ahead. Flip that all you want. 5.5 inches. Did it 4 different places on my property. So, just in case one place is a little bit less. Yeah. 5.5 inches. Now, it decimated other places. But I had people clap back on me on Twitter. You fat son of a bitch. Don't you know that in Franklin, Tennessee, or in, all these different places, we got nailed. I'm like, well, I don't live there. I wasn't listening to the meteorologists in Chicago or the one in Indianapolis or the one in Nashville or the one in Birmingham. I was listening to ours, and I was told I was going to get a 10-inch. And I got a 5-inch, and that's what happened. And I ain't complaining about it. I mean, if we had 10 inches, it'd be terrible. We'd be stuck inside for the next 5 days. We got to get Ethan Moore, and we got to get James Streble back to work. We gotta teach these kids. We can't have them sitting inside all day, not doing anything.
Yep.
There's my rant.
Streble, what's your early work week look like? We're in TI for tomorrow and Tuesday.
We're in TI for at least tomorrow, probably Tuesday as well. But we don't start till 9 a.m., so I had to sleep in a little bit.
That's pathetic. I'm sorry. No. Yeah. Jefferson County Public Schools even put out today. No, it is a traditional snow day. You're not going to be doing any work. Nobody's going to make little Tommy sit in his room and do whatever, do math problems. We're not doing that tomorrow. Tomorrow they get to go outside and play in the snow, build a snowman, go sledding down Joe Creason Park. While everybody's yelling about tennis.
Snow day. Don't start this stuff. They've done no. We had snow days earlier this year. Jefferson County did it in TI while I was sitting in my house drinking coffee and not worrying about it. So don't you try to pull this Jefferson County public school elitism on me, big boy. They've already done their NTI. They just decided to take their snow day today, or tomorrow. So get off your pedestal, get off your soapbox.
Hey, I'm a Shelby County Public Schools guy. I went to Shelby County, They've gotten better, but they're trash back.
By the
back
way,
in the
Furman,
day.
I had a buddy text me. I don't know if he's ever watched these. If he did, it was for Anna, and he blanked out your part of the screen.
Is it Tank?
It's not. But
Okay.
it's not him. But he's too worried about the New York City mayor right now and complaining about that to talk about anything else and talk about soccer.
I mean, socialism's taking over. The whole city's going to burn down. Like at least it'll keep them warm during the snowstorm.
Hey, he was out there
Sofro looks like Sofro looks like he's
snow today. Mom Donnie was.
How about that? Sofro looks like he streams Fortnite. That is what he looks like. You do look like that.
I can tell you, I've never played Fortnite. I thought about it did have a little Star Wars Battlefront, which may be worse. Maybe that's even nerdier. I don't know.
By the way, Streble, would you let Kellen, who's what, 13? Going to be 14? Okay, he's 14. Play Call of Duty with the boys. Would you put him on those mics? Would you open up that world to him?
He has the ability. He has Call of Duty. He's got the headset and the mic. He doesn't play it. He just plays sports games. I bought it I spent a good amount of money on that game, and it takes forever to download. And he doesn't play it. I'm like, why don't you ever play Call of Duty? He's like, I like college football 26. I'm like, whatever. Just play. We got
to get him on the game because he won't have hit 10 beers at like 10:30.
No,
his aim will be pure. He'll be true.
Shoot Tank in the butt.
He'll be like Chris Mullen shooting a jump shot. It'll just be pure. He'll have a flat top.
Have you and Kellen had your first beer together, like father and son?
No.
You haven't done that yet?
Not.
He's 14. Yes, thank you, Ethan. He's 14. Streble, the way you are, you and your 14-year-old son have not had a beer together. My uncle and I had a beer together by the time I was 13.
Here
a
it
different
comes
time when you and I were children, Justin. Nowadays that don't fly.
Streble, that's not it. He's doing the Italian, the traditional Italy.
Yeah, he's of age here.
Yeah,
they'd have a drink when he's 10 and his first smoke when he was 8. We'd be at Alexander's Cafe over there. we'd have one of those.
Alessandro.
I had wine with my carbonara at 9 years old. There you go. Some focaccia bread and some wine at 7 years old. That's the way they do it.
You knew that's what it was going back to, though.
Oh,
you knew that's what he was doing there.
Cooper says, me, Kellen, Sweeney, and Dusty, we can finally drop Tank. So they can get rid of Tank from your Call of Duty names.
Okay, so the only thing I don't know what's going on with Cooper. I have not heard much from him. He has disappeared. He's working. He's got a dog. He's chasing cougars. He's doing a lot of things. But he did shoot me a text on Saturday morning. I need to see if I can find it. Hang on just a second. He shot me a text on Saturday, and I'd not heard from him in a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. And he hit me with Friday night. He hit me with, I don't buy Brown being as injured as what we were told. That's it. That's the last text I just got from 9:53 on Friday night. How does that feel?
Man, see here's the thing. I've already seen it here on this channel where I talked about MIKEL Browne, kind of in his performance and coming back, and so many people, so many comments, just crushing, just going right at us or everybody, or not. When I say us, I just mean anybody who questioned even just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Did MIKEL Browne? How bad was his back? Like I said, like I tried to say, my back has been blown out multiple times, but I'm okay. I do all right, and I'm 30-something years old. Yeah, you're the assholes. You guys, you don't believe in these kids. You don't believe in these kids who take large sums of money to come play for your school. You don't believe that they only have your school in their heart. That's all that they care about. I like MIKEL Browne. I think he's gonna go down. Hopefully, if the season plays out from now on as a solid, we gotta win a game in the tournament. You gotta win something to really be remembered.
You gotta win a couple games. You gotta win a couple games in the tournament. Second weekend. Minimum.
PK. I mean, we're going to get into the topic of the Duke and Louisville stuff, but like one of my main things, the crux of my opinion when it comes to MIKEL Browne being back and PK is it's time for him to win a game. It's time to win a significant game. It's time to win a game that means something. And I'm sorry, like Kentucky basketball at the beginning of the season, it felt good, but it, for a while there, it didn't mean anything. And then we're going to do the thing where Streble can probably say, it's in the same team that it was, back then. But whatever, that's fine. But it didn't resonate the same way that beating a Duke will, or beating just any coach worth a damn. Not beating Mark Pope. That's a big part of it too. Is beating Mark Pope doesn't ring the same as beating, John Calipari or beating even Rick Barnes, who I don't respect at all either.
Hubert Davis.
No, see that. Jesus,
he took care of that last year.
Yeah, who is SMU coach? I couldn't tell you.
I feel like I should. It's the guy. It's not
Andy Enfield.
Is
I think it is Andy Enfield.
Yeah, it's Andy Enfield. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Is it? Andy Enfield looks like the guy that like you'd worry that like your daughter goes off to college and she's like, I have a new boyfriend, and she comes home and it's Andy Enfield.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. That's how I feel about the game. You're like, oh crap! Like you can't you can't tell how old he is. He's got a little bit older, but when he like came on the scene, he was like a guy that's like, is this guy in his 40s or is he in his 50s or is this guy 62? No one any idea how old Andy Enfield was at one point.
I got one or two of those friends where, everybody, we meet up regularly. We have these events throughout the year where you're always going to see each other, get together, meetups. And then she shows up with her new boyfriend who is clearly in his 50s and clearly has children that are teenagers. And we were, at this point, we were still in our late 20s. And it was one of those moments where it's like he's there. I don't know how to communicate with this person because I'm like, sir, how you doing, sir? You could be a father-like figure to me, or are we supposed to be bros? I don't know.
Well, at least you're being polite. You. I mean, that's a start.
Yeah, I was raised right. I was raised right how to do that.
Can I give you my Mikel take? Mikel take? So I said this on the show on Friday because I thought he'd come back either this game or SMU, Virginia Tech or SMU, that they wouldn't do Duke, and they could have done Duke because he played great the other night. So, it wasn't a, hey, you're playing 12 minutes, we're going to get your feet wet type of thing. It was quite the opposite. But the best part, and Streble will love this, the best part about the Mikel story is that it's Louisville on Louisville crime. That it's not Kentucky. You can't blame Streble. You can't blame me. You can't blame anybody else. Nope. It was Louisville fans being mad at Mikel Brown. Mad, frustrated, angry, impatient, whatever verbiage you want to use. And there were levels of it. I understand. There were some people that were too far. There were some people that, just kind of felt like it may have been an injury, and everybody in between. And then the other beautiful thing is, unless someone like leaks out valid information, I don't know if we're ever going to truly know the truth. Because I said it could just be it was a tricky injury, and they weren't going to rush him back until they got him healthy. I mean, that's basically what Bill Self in Kansas did with Darren Peterson. He sat out for the better part of a month, and then ever since he came back, he's played now he didn't play the other night, so it's a terrible example because he twisted his ankle, but it was a different injury than what he had. This is like if Mikel Brown came back and twisted his left ankle and had to miss a game or two. Those are the exact same. So those are my two things, that it was Louisville on Louisville crime, and I get to sit back and just kind of watch all of that get sorted out. And then until we know, it could have just been he was injured. They're going to make sure he gets back when he's at 100%. And I did, listening to Pat Kelsey this week, he was very coy with his answers on what day did he talk? It would have been Thursday, maybe Thursday morning, something like that.
Yeah.
That morning he was very offish, and I told Nikki to boot. He's probably eating lasagna or doing whatever he was doing. I said he's either not very confident or he's going to be back on Virginia Tech. He's trying to not play it off. So it's like this big moment that the kid's back. You'll find out at 8:00 at night when the night before when he's not on the list. So that's my immediate thought. And listen, Louisville's a totally different team with him. Without him, they're struggling NCAA tournament team.
Yeah,
with him, with him, I believe they could beat many teams. I'm going to have to see him beat the top teams, right? They don't get that many opportunities, but they can beat many teams on their schedule, and they would not have went 4-4, obviously, during that stretch if Mikel Brown was playing in all those games. I mean, that's obvious.
Ethan, you want to? Not trying to call people, but I thought you. Yeah.
Yeah, the last thing Sweeney said's dead on. I mean, Louisville's a totally different team with them. You saw the graphic that they threw out there for the Pitt game, and what took me by surprise was the 9% differential in the 3-point percentage with him, off the floor. I mean, that's a huge divot when you're talking about that statistically, since the team was built on 3-point shooters. You had 6 less assists per game when he was missing games than when he was in them. And so obviously too, you look at the schedule overall, you're 10-1 with him and 4-4 without. So obviously that goes without saying. But what he does, not any other person on Louisville's roster can do. He can get to the rim. He can beat his man off the dribble. He can finish at the rim, and he can spray it out to the shooters for even better shots. And there was a one stretch there where Mikel penetrated to the lane, threw it to Frew threw it quickly, swung it around to Conwell, knocked down a wide open three in rhythm. He wasn't flailing away. He wasn't fading away. He jumped, straight up in the air, had nice follow through, everything. And then you had the one where he kind of forced the three, got his own rebound, and immediately kicked it right out to Conwell for a top of the key three. His vision, his ability to beat his man off the dribble, nobody else on Louisville's roster has that skill. And Louisville's a totally different team. And at the same time, Louisville has a lot of quad one opportunities, especially on the road. Duke, North Carolina, SMU, Miami, Clemson. Louisville's going to have to win at least, in my opinion, 3 out of those 5 games if Louisville wants to get anywhere near the 4 to 5 seed line. That has to happen. I'm not going to expect Louisville to beat Duke tomorrow. I would have loved for that game to have been at home with Mikel. If we could have flip-flopped that on the schedule, that would have been great. But there's a lot of other games too. Like, Louisville needs to sweep SMU. Louisville needs to beat Clemson. And Louisville needs to beat, like Miami or North Carolina. One of those games, Clemson or North Carolina. Louisville's got to get one of those two if they want to find themselves in a prime spot to potentially get to the second weekend.
And I want to say, I think it was after the Virginia game, Ethan, you had the post-game show. And, you opened with, we're not lowering standards around here. And you stayed true to that. I mean, there were some that were making excuses. I mean, some of those losses without Mikel, like the Duke loss, like, okay, yeah, you understand that. Maybe, knowing Virginia's probably better than we had thought, you say, okay, maybe understand that. But some of those other losses that they took without him, you're kind of like, what the hell's going on? And you maybe question the depth of that team and the talent of that team in terms of an Adrian Woolley and in terms of, I wouldn't throw Ryan Conwell in there. I think he's a pretty damn good basketball player. Kobe Rogers, for instance, they just can't do it. There for the first 2 games after Mikel went out, Woolley played pretty damn well. And I was like, okay, he kind of washes out the Mikel injury, but ever since those games, he's been very inconsistent and spotty. I mean, he's that important. I mean, Pat Kelsey, got him, and he filled with guys around that can complement him pretty well. Yeah. But if he is off that floor, as you were saying, Andy and Ethan, they're just not going to beat those teams. They're going to be a 8 seed, 9 seed with Mikel. I think you're right, Ethan. I think your highest seed you can go probably maybe a 5 or a 6, unless you guys just decimate the rest of your schedule with him and pull some upsets, and then you can be looking at a 4. I think Louisville can get to like a 4 seed.
I think they can. There's 7 quad one opportunities left. Like I said, the vast majority of them are on the road. But certainly, yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, you have your wide range of callers at the post game. Like, well, I remember I got laughed at on social media for saying, if the goal is to get to the second weekend, you got a lot of people. Well, second weekend, how are they supposed to get to the second weekend if we can't beat X, Y, Z? I'm like, that's not my problem. The players talked about winning a national championship. The coaching staff talked about winning a national championship. They bought into the hype, and I love that. I'm glad that they do. They sense those expectations. That just because the team, isn't meeting them doesn't mean the fans have to lower. You could say the same thing last year when Louisville started out 6-5. We talked about make the tournament, no excuses. I don't care about the end. Make the tournament. And people are like, well, how are you going to make the tournament if you're 6-5? Just let things play out. And, we'll see what happens. But Louisville's going to have plenty of opportunities. Mikel's in the lineup going forward. I expect Louisville to close strong. And they need to put themselves in the right position.
Listen, here's what I love about it as well. Sorry to interrupt. This season was going to be, and like Kentucky fans are dealing with this with Pope. where because Lowe's out and because Cam's now out, now I don't cut him too much slack on JQ. They knew JQ was injured. We knew Winnie was injured. But if you want to throw him in there in some capacity, this year's not going to be a true evaluation year for Mark Pope in a lot of ways. I mean, if Mark Pope can go, like Kentucky's this weird team, Streble, you could see like maybe be there in the finals of the SEC tournament. Like, right? Like you could see it. Like a team that's a team that's not one of their better teams ends up doing something stupid like that. Like now watch them lose in the first game. But my point being, they could do that. They could get into the tournament, maybe even win a game, and you play someone really good in the second round. And the evaluation of Mark Pope is, this team stunk and they were getting smoked, and they went to the tournament and they won the SEC tournament. And they won a tournament game. Mark Pope did a great job. Pat Kelsey his evaluation was going to change if Mikel Brown did not come back. Now, Ethan and maybe others would criticize him on truly recruiting of how much power he had in the relationship, or like you could come up with things to so question him on. But the reality was, if Mikel Brown did not come back, or he came back at the end of the year to where your seeding was damaged, there was going to be the but. There's no but with this. And this is where I agree with Ethan. You got Mikel back. He's healthy. If something else happens in the future, so be it. We'll evaluate it then. But as we sit here on this Sunday night, that's not the case. So I think we are going to get a true evaluation, like Ethan mentioned, for Pat Kelsey. And it starts tomorrow night in what I think, could be a winnable game. You have 7 quad one opportunities. Now, not all those teams will be an NCAA tournament team, but I think maybe 6 out of the 7 will, at least 5, if not 6 out of the 7. So if I'm a Louisville fan, I was going to be scared that you go 2 years and then this magical what could be season, you just had to kind of throw it away in the evaluation process. You're going to find out what you got with Pat Kelsey. And that could be a very good thing. Could be bad. Could be somewhere in the middle. You're going to find out starting Monday.
I guess one of my questions, too, is like how, there's this group of Louisville fans that are very much, it's almost like they are excited to make an excuse for the coach. Like, no matter what, like, but you know what I mean? Like, they immediately go to, well, we had KP. And then, now it's, Mikel's been hurt. Okay. But then how much am I allowed to criticize that this team without Mikel Brown is mid, is not a team that can go out there and compete? I don't even think forward in the NCAA tournament, like for a bid at the tournament, let alone, we go out there and try to talk about the idea of competing for a freaking national championship. Like right now, that's even with Mikel Brown, that feels like, an extreme stretch if you had him all season long. So that's got like, and then additionally, I go out there and look at, and this is what I talked about with Phil a little bit on the Sunday Morning Hangover, is depending on how this season unfolds, depending on if Mikel Brown plays the rest of the year, maybe you get a couple wins, maybe you end up making the tournament, maybe you win one game, or maybe you go out there lose first round. How long of a leash does PK get until we start getting some real criticism? I know, Streble, I know you've been giving criticism. I know you've been giving criticism about poor little baby PK. I got that. But I mean, overall, where's the real criticism from the fan base?
I see it differently than you. Whenever I criticize Pat Kelsey on my show or on Twitter, I mean, you have your diehard cards that are going to come at me no matter what, but there's a significant amount of Louisville fans that will throw Pat Kelsey under the bus. Like when he went through that stretch in the ACC where they were losing, even without Mikel Brown, they were crushing him. It's different for basketball than it is football. Jeff Brom has the longest leash of any coach in the area. I mean, he rolled out that bum season this year, and it was celebrated. 9-4. It was 8-4 in the regular season. Oh, we won the Beans Bowl. What a great year it was. And we're going to go to the playoff this year. Like they live in fantasy land when it comes to Jeff Brom. When it comes to Pat,
it's kind of like BBN right now in this preseason with St. Matthew Saban.
That's right. St. Matthew Saban. He's coming for Jeff Brom. But no, Louisville football fans, They don't live in reality when it comes to their coach. He's a very good coach, but he's going to screw up 1 or 2 games. They don't have that same type of patience when it comes to Pat Kelsey. They're ready to pounce on Pat Kelsey if things continue to pile up. The losses continue to pile up. Like if they drop this game tomorrow night with Mikel Brown, they lose by double digits, you'll see it and you'll hear it. They will come at his throat.
Yeah, if you lose with Mikel and you're not competitive, absolutely, because that would be a continuing trend that we were pointing out earlier on, even without Mikel in there. And so it is imperative again that Coach Kelsey beats some ranked teams because the narrative is out there. Yes, team up the road was ranked 9th when Louisville played them. Indiana was number 22 when the Cards played them. Well, they're both not ranked right now. So at the end of the day, I mean, how many rank wins do you have? You don't have any. So you're going to have some opportunities. But Sofro, back to your point about like judging PK, I think, man, it all comes down to what we do in March. If you get to the second weekend, now there'll be a portion of the fan base. If you just win one game, you know, you give them a little taste and a little reminder of what it's like. I mean, hell, it's been so long, it's been ridiculous. But you know, if you win, kick your feet up, watch a day of games before you play again. But yeah, if Louisville flames out in the first weekend, then I think there'll will be some legitimate criticism. But I don't think right now, currently, we can say one way or the other if Pat Kelsey's the coach forever or Pat Kelsey needs to be on the hot seat. I mean, I think right now he's done a really good job. Last year, yes, the ACC was watered down. I don't care. We won 12 games in 2 years before that. I'll take 27-8. That was the only time we're going to celebrate Louisville getting to the tournament was last year. But he knows that as well. And that's what gives me some hope going forward is he understands, kind of like what Streble was saying, there's not patience with the fan base for Louisville basketball. So we're expecting now, again, minimum second weekend and beyond. You position yourself in the Sweet 16, things can get crazy and you can advance. But I think it is very, very crucial for Kelsey to have a run this March, but also, too, like we talked about earlier, he has several opportunities to notch some big wins. You know, it starts tomorrow night, but Louisville has to be competitive. The spread's 6.5. All right, you lose by 5 or 6, you're competitive. It's a ball game down there in the last 4-minute segment. All right, whatever. Again, I'm not expecting Louisville to win tomorrow, but if it's like, you know, a Tennessee repeat or an Arkansas repeat, I don't care if Louisville battles back and loses by 8. You shouldn't have got down by 20. So that's what I'm going to be watching for. I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I do think, man, I just think having MIKEL Brown, a lottery pick point guard on your roster, changes things. And we haven't had that. We haven't had a 5-star like MIKEL in quite some time. And he is a game changer, and I expect the wins to follow as we close out the regular season.
What kind of 5 rungs of hell is not Streble, is Sofro going into with this Twitter to find these fans? You're deep into like
no.
It just says Kelsey's Army. That's your entire timeline. That's your entire timeline on Twitter is Kelsey's Army.
But it's not even Twitter. It's this channel. It's doing the YouTube channel. Like literally, because like there's a science to like. To growing it is like you have to respond to every comment. No, I mean to grow
so
a
you're
community.
In the comment section.
I have to because if we don't, so like being a small channel, if you don't respond to stuff, it doesn't help you build people that keep coming back. I'm growing you all a platform here. That's what I'm telling you. I'm trying to grow it long term. I let it sit for a little bit, and now I'm back at it. But like every single time I read the comment, and all the comments are just consistently, you know, just making excuses. Calling me a cat fan. I know what's his name, Danny Grace on Twitter. He calls me Catman69 every day because I'm critical about Louisville.
I love Danny. He's a good. I'll have Danny leave you alone, man.
He's not. I can't say even like he's a good guy. I'm like I don't know, man. Like our guy Craig does say it's like he's a good guy. I'm like that guy said he's gonna kill me. Like I just had a guy here crush me on Twitter like 20 minutes ago, and it's Louisville luck. He had Christian, #Christian in his name. And I'm like, I don't know,
Dad,
man. I
Christian.
Don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't. Well, can I say this? And this is for Ethan and it's for Streble. And it's an inconvenient truth. What was that? Was that the Al Gore movie, The Inconvenient Truth?
Yes.
Was that it? Was that the one on the solar, not the solar system, the
global warming?
The air quality, global warming. Thank you.
Climate change.
That's it. Thank you. So this is me, and I hate doing this to you guys. So you can get mad at PK and Pope. They're not going anywhere for a little while. No. I mean, number one, I would have to look up their buyouts. I'm sure they're not football level buyouts, but that'd be number one. And number two, you guys just conducted a search in which you ended up with those 2 guys. Yeah. So
Well, I think Pope's buyout's like 17 mil or something like that. But no, you're right about. I mean, that's the thing that that was a part of, one of my topics one day was when both Kentucky and Louisville were kind of in that same boat, losing at the same time. I was like, this is what happens when you hire coaches that have 0 tournament wins. Things like this are going to happen. Neither guy had experience at a big program, winning tournament games, playing in big games. I mean, Pope did a little bit at BYU, going to Kansas and places like that, but he didn't win any tournament games, and that's what matters around here. It's what do you, like Ethan said, what do you do in March? The regular season sets you up for the ultimate goal, and neither guy had even come close to sniffing the ultimate goal at their prior stop. So that's kind of where I'm at with both of them. Like Ethan said, you got to prove it, man. You got to go out there and do it. We're not just sit and kiss your feet because you're our coach. You got to show me something and not be down by 20 points or 18 points on the road at freaking LSU. Like you don't do that. Now they came back and won that game, but at the same time, you're kind of like, this doesn't feel right yet. And until these guys can do something significant in the tournament, it's going to be a very weird relationship between the coaches, the fans.
I think, in March, again, I'll just reiterate, in March, it is imperative for Louisville to get to that second weekend, just like Louisville did when they made it to the ACC tournament championship game last year. I mean, I did the post game for the Clemson semifinal win. Guys, I went on, I think, a little before 1 and signed off at 2:30. I mean, people were still calling. We were experiencing that excitement that we hadn't had in forever. And that's why, too, and Sweeney's right. Both coaches are going to be there for a while, and they should. I have no problem with, and that's the thing in today's day and age. You're critical of a coach. Well, why do you want him fired? I never said that. We can be critical of our coaches and still have their back. When I turn on the Streble show and he's clowning Pat Kelsey, I might have a criticism of Kelsey, but I'm also going to get mad at Streble for clowning on my coach. Both can happen. You can be critical of your coach and still think that he's the right person for the job. And shouts out to Coach Kelsey yesterday, switched to a 1-3-1 zone for possession, generated a turnover. And so, we're talking about, can he make those adjustments? That was a very, very small one time, but I like to see that. And, he was asked about it by Rashawn Myers. I went back and listened to it, and you could kind of tell because he was like, hey, I noticed you went into that zone, and Kelsey did that thing with his glasses. He was kind of being a little slick with it. So, okay, those are the types of things. I know Streble loves that. But those are the type of little things. Can you make those adjustments going forward and adapt to what you have on talent-wise? So we'll see. Now, he's going to have to do that against these big dog elite teams like Duke tomorrow night.
That is Streble. Did you notice? I played it. It wasn't very well known, but what was it? The Virginia game. Corey Alexander was on the play-by-play. Soforo, you might remember this. That he said during the game that he talked to Pat Kelsey, and Pat Kelsey doesn't wear his glasses because he doesn't feel like he's earned it yet to have a thing on the.
Yeah, you can't have a gimmick without the success here.
Without winning.
But he's more than okay. I love that
I thought that. Well, we were going to confuse you with Rick Pitino, Denny Crum. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You wear the glasses.
I love that he can't have
the glasses.
I love that he can't have the gimmick. I can't have the cute the glasses or whatever, but I'm more than okay to kind of be an asshole to the media and treat everybody like I've accomplished something when I haven't already.
You went out and bought some. You went out and bought some. They sent some to the station.
That's allegedly. I don't.
You bought the Amazon
version. Yeah. Those I did try to look them up for you before too, and they do not sell them anymore. I think Pat Kelsey changed something, and they had to jack those prices up and start selling them for a lot more because you can find them on Amazon for $9, $12, something like that. So if people want to have some, you could get them.
Are they $500 like a Swinging Louis Louisville baseball T-shirt? $500.
Is that really how much that is?
Yes.
It's for NIL. They had quarter zips for $1,000.
Yeah, there you go. $1,000 laying around.
I got Dieter wearing one of those into the studio in the next week and a half.
The best part is I could spend $1,000 on one of those, but if I had a graphic with me in it, I'd have to edit it out. so nobody can see.
Yeah, well, you'd have to blur your
Yeah,
chest.
yeah, it would be
Like
just
your,
my
like your
bosom.
boob was hanging out.
Or put a piece of duct tape on it. Just
Put a piece of duct tape on it.
Yeah, like in reality shows, they'll duct tape their hat if it says like Nike on it. You'll see a big piece of duct tape right there.
You know who emceed that? Your boy Ramrod did. How about that?
That's right.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the hallway. We were hugging each other up while when he was going in there to do it. Yeah, that's my guy. That's
Creighton was boots on the ground at that dinner. Andy and I were getting play-by-play from the evening. It was great. It made my Friday night. And I'll be honest, it made my Friday night.
He did the Ali impersonation. I didn't know they knew each other.
And here's JV Bell. Here he is. Y'all accuse this point guard of mailing it in to get ready for the draft. I would have told y'all to kiss my ass. Is what he says.
I agree. That's what Soforo and Keith Pointer did. I would agree with that. Keith Pointer, Justin Soforo deserve this, and a little bit of blank too, and a little bit of blank.
Oh,
he deserves a little bit of this.
For the record, I did not say that or believe that. Just throwing that out there.
Me either. Although
we believed in the kid. I trust the kid. I trust this child. I trust the 18-year-old kid.
I'd give anything if in like 2 weeks it came out that he asked for more NIL money and got it. Like I'd give anything for that show. I'd give anything for that show.
Yeah.
Because it'd be awesome that he asked for it. It'd be awesome if they paid it. All of it would be awesome. And Kentucky fans would be awesome. Of course, they spent $7 million on Jalen Lowe and Jane Quaidens. So, you know.
Kenai Roos is trying to do that same deal, but he ain't getting that MIKEL money.
I just noticed in that Virginia Tech game that back didn't look tight at all. He didn't wince at all. He was out there celebrating. He looked good to go. I'm just saying he didn't look like he didn't look nervous at all about hurting that back again. Like I just know, like me coming off an injury, I would be a little, I'd be a little bit nervous. I don't know.
During a back massager, when he during timeouts or when he was taking a breather taking a blow on the bench,
a little blow. Just to kind of wrap up the Louisville stuff. I guess my main issue or my main, I hate to be I don't hate to be the guy, but like with this game, with tomorrow, to me, maybe I'm putting a lot more pressure. I know a lot of people, and again, I understand. You don't expect to win the game. You don't think they're going to win the game. I get it. But if they don't go out there and, down to the wire or God forbid, or win the game, my problem is I look at the rest of the season and like, there's not opportunities you get North Carolina and Clemson. Those are your resume builders that you can really get. Cause like none of the other ones really do anything for me. They don't move the needle. Baylor's 11-8. So at that point, you're resigned to what, a 7 seed?
Last night against TCU, they were terrible.
Yeah,
mistake.
Yeah.
Here, I got something for you guys. I think Louisville wins tomorrow. That's gonna be my take.
Whoa.
Louisville wins
tomorrow.
Hey,
sign me up for that. I love that.
Louisville wins game tomorrow. How about that?
Man,
there we go.
Coming out early on that. Early little preview of the take.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah. Little L1C4 Andy.
I'm on board with that take. That'd be awesome.
I got Louisville winning.
Your BL's up on Nick Valvano's going to be a BBN.
If Pat Kelsey loses, if he loses by 19,
that 32-point performance the other day, little come down, maybe 13 points for Cam Boozer instead of his usual 23, 24, maybe.
Yeah,
he's going to get his.
If he can't lose this game by 19, I'll go at him. You better not lose this game by 19 You better not lose this game by 19 on the road. How about that?
My guy Walt Nicholas says, with all the love for Blank, that dude does not speak for the fan base. And I do appreciate Walt.
He does. He is the fan base. Oh. No, I don't want to hear that. Blank is lifted on high. He is. Stop that. Blank is one of the pillars of Louisville athletics. You guys stop that. Am I wrong? Strible's laughing. He knows.
No,
he's the sheriff. Right. I don't want to hear that. He's morning drive. He's a sheriff. When he says something, it reverberates around the community. You better believe he does. Stop that.
Man drives 90 minutes every morning to talk cards for 3 hours. Every morning.
You ain't gonna see him, and you ain't gonna see him for 2 weeks.
I love
snow and Santa Claus.
No chance. That Tesla ain't getting through there. I love Blank. That being said, I go to war for Blank, right? Like, that means a lot. Me. That's what he needs. I'm a soldado in his army. But overall, I guess my litmus test would be like, if I reach out to UK fans, would they know who the sheriff is? Do they know who Blank is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot of the ones that I know don't.
No.
A lot of the ones don't.
Stop it.
They know.
He put
They
on
know
a
Diener.
when Louisville finally won in basketball. He
Uh-huh.
put on a social media clinic of trolling. Oh my gosh, it
Dude.
was fantastic. It was like 24, 36 hours straight, pulling
Are
up
you
all those
kidding me?
bookmarks, loving it.
Maybe the ones I know are just not very educated. Then I guess that's it. I guess
No. Plus, he went right after Banks. He went right to the head of the BBN Army. So he called them penniless ball gaggers and Dumbo ears and Mr. Potato.
made fun of his eyebrows.
And eyebrows. You kidding me? And
Yeah, but that's par for the course. That's
interviewing co-eds on Halloween. You know, I mean, he played all the hits. Stop it.
But that could have been any UVL fan. That could have been any UVL fan doing that. Just like BBN does that to the UVL side. That could have been anybody. That could have been Streble in 2011. That was Streble in 2011. That's how he treated.
Streble in 2011 was creating fake Gmails to get on Card Chronicle.
My favorite part is he's frozen.
He is frozen.
Now. He is.
Look at his face. I didn't get a picture of that.
Roos is just sore from getting all these dudes pregnant. Yep. The inappropriate guy says nobody working tomorrow. Brad, I guess he means bring out the bourbon. Yeah. Streble, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if he's coming back.
He says computer restarted. So.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see. Phil, if you're out there, if you want to hop in, you hop in. Streble, we'll see if he comes back in or not. Well, I was going to talk a little bit UK, but we're already at 45 minutes in. I don't even know if we need to talk Kentucky. I guess really my main take was going to be this is kind of well, you don't want to talk about Daddy Calipari bringing out the paddle for Mark Pope this week. You don't want to talk about that? They play this next Saturday, right? That's when they play.
Yeah, they play Saturday like 7:30, something like that. It's a night game. It's not too late though. It's 6:30 or 7:30, I think.
Okay, yeah. So no, that's what I had to look forward to because they've got a nice little 5-game win streak. Everybody, well, as much as I would like to say that
4 out of those 5 are bums. Well, I'll give them Tennessee. The rest of them are bums.
The thing is, to be honest, as much as I want to go at them, I'm listening to the post game, and TJ Walker got on me because I always cut negative sound to make reels for Kentucky stuff. And I'm sorry, but it's also that's the season you've been in. Like it's the majority of the stuff, and it's going to get clicks. Like the positive stuff doesn't get clicks. Same with Louisville. Lawrence saying that he wanted to fist fight PK and that he had little man syndrome and all this stuff. That's going to get clicks. The positive, love it up, MIKEL Browne or saying that PK is the next John Wooden and stuff like that. That doesn't really that doesn't move the needle. That's kind of my personal.
Listen, I would agree with you guys. I think we are moving into territory where Kentucky was, kind of like Ethan, like Louisville's 4-4, and they had that, without MIKEL, and they had time off on New Year, and they had time off on Christmas, so they could have even fit a couple more games in. If it would have been maybe a normal time of year, if it would have been backed up a little bit, you could have been 11 games instead of 8 games, right? You could have maybe have another loss or two on the ledger. Kentucky was able to, now Cam being out obviously is a big deal. Kentucky was able to use these 5 games to kind of find out kind of what they are, who they are, can they win games, are they worth a damn, are they going to be a tournament team? And I think they've proven to me they are an NCAA tournament team. I don't have any. I don't have any hopes that they're going to go too far. But I did what I told Streble. I'm not. You could see a team like this. You could see a team like this. Make a run in the SEC tournament, maybe lose, the first weekend, the first or second game. So that's kind of what I think of them. I mean, if they ever go and they beat Vanderbilt in Nashville, Ethan, you've seen those games. You know what that crowd could be like, right? I mean, even the Vandy's having a great year. It could be real heavy. Kentucky, and then Arkansas. Sure. I don't think they'll beat Arkansas, but Kentucky knows who they are now. They know they got 7-ish guys, and maybe 8-ish guys. They know who their guys are. Kind of feel like they know the rules. And we'll see how good they are. But who knows if we see JQ again? I would imagine. If I'm him, I'm probably not playing. But we shall see. But regardless, I think Kentucky's is a solid NCAA team. And what's crazy, if MIKEL doesn't come back, I think there's a chance Kentucky and Louisville were about the same seed.
Yeah.
Because they were both like 6-7s in the latest bracketology before this weekend. They obviously both win, but if you pay attention to Louisville, obviously Mikel being back is pretty good. So and Streble's gone. There he goes. You see him Soforo. He bounced out.
Is that what he said?
He bounced. Yep. He's got to put the baby to bed.
Oh no! I think he just sent that to you. I don't think he sent it to me. I didn't get that. So that sounds about right.
Yeah, he sent it. He sent it to the wrong message group.
Oh, okay. So Creighton's getting that. Creighton and Blake and whoever. I know. I don't get included in these, but we'll see. But I appreciate you guys for filling in and for stepping in. She's still healing up. She'll be back and be able to give some BB and bluster on here. The sad thing is, I was going to ask Streble. I wanted to get this in there, see if we had time for a Supernatural Sunday. I was going to ask him about if he thought cloud seeding, and if that is that what failed? Is the cloud seeding, did it not work? Because they had all this prepped, and we had all these inches we were promised, and then it didn't happen. I'm like just wondering because I don't know if how far down the rabbit hole you go, but if you get on some of these things because of I guess it's because of Streble, but I start getting Joe Bob out in the country in Tennessee, like taking pictures of chemtrails and saying that this is the government, like preparing us, like Trump or Biden or whoever is out here. This is why we can predict the storm out in the fashion that they did. So anyway, that was just
God bless you.
Yeah,
you go too deep into the internet, buddy. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's Streble's fault.
Don't do it.
It is. We'll talk. Yeah, we can talk Nephilim and all that, and everything that comes out. Anyway, Andy kind of gave his take. I guess Ethan, you're kind of what do you think going this game tomorrow? Are you? I know you said you're expecting a loss. You willing to go out there and say you think Louisville can really get it done, or where are you at?
I mean, I think yes, with Mikel, I think Louisville can get it done, and I think there was an interesting article. I think it was from The Athletic that talked about how Duke has had some crazy luck in playing some of the better teams on their schedules without their best player. I don't remember. There's 3 occasions. Louisville was one of them, but there were 3 occasions where the opponent's best player didn't play. So I think Duke's gotten a lucky break there. It's tough to win in Cameron Indoor. We know the whistle that they get each and every game, but I mean, could Louisville win? Sure. Do I think they will? No, because I have yet to see that. I want that data point, so I can get out there and say what Sweeney said about beating Duke. So if Louisville gets the upset tomorrow, then you have that data point. You also have something that's another box that Pat Kelsey could check off. So I mean, tomorrow night is huge, but still, I haven't seen it yet. So if we had played better against Arkansas, played better against Tennessee, then, maybe I would be a little bit more confident, even with Mikel coming back. Now, again, it's 6.5 point spread. Louisville showed that they could play with Duke for about 25, 30 minutes out of the 40 a couple of weeks ago. Maybe Louisville gets down by 10 at the half, and then they come back for once. But I don't know. If Louisville has to shoot it well, Mikel will be able to manufacture better half court results. If Louisville needs a bucket, he'll be able to get by his man more often than not. And then maybe he can shut down Caleb Foster, because 4 weeks ago, Foster had his career game, what it seemed like. So someone needs to get a hand in his face defensively. Again, Mikel's been a pretty solid defender, so we'll see what happens. But, certainly a major test for Louisville and a major test for Coach Kelsey. Let's see if he can get it done.
Yeah. I do enjoy that you brought up the point about, and I always get kind of beat over the head with this, but I do think it's kind of true a little bit of, and Andy, you can say if I'm wrong or not, but when it comes to the whistle, it does feel different in the Carolinas. When it comes to Duke and when it comes to North Carolina, it's different. Because people say about Kentucky too. I don't feel the same way when Louisville plays Kentucky. I feel that way with Duke and North Carolina, especially when you're on the road and playing in Cameron Indoor or in Chapel Hill. Like I do feel
before the 8 minute before the under 12 timeout, a Louisville starter is going to have 2 fouls. 100%. One of the major players, Conwell, is going to have 2 fouls before the under 12.
I like that. I want to be paying attention to it now. Just see if anyone is.
I'll text you guys when it happens.
Okay. I will text you guys if that happens. Yeah.
All right,
True. How does that sound?
Last question,
Oh,
and then we
yeah,
can wrap
maybe
it up.
Frew. Yeah, maybe Frew's going to be that one.
Yep.
We'll see.
And that's where
I'll be stunned, though, if that's not the case.
And that's where Walt Nicholas, one of our members here on the channel. So I do want to give him our appreciation, because I do appreciate people that sign up to be members and do that to help support this. But he says, how do you all feel about Frew and Khalifa on the court together? I don't know.
I like it.
I mean, okay.
I like it. And I wasn't a huge fan. So, Fro, I'm with you. I wasn't a huge fan of Khalifa until this past month. But he has done what at least I expected him to do when we signed. Come off the bench, knock down a 3 or 2, get a couple of rebounds, set some picks. I know at the game yesterday, people were furious when he got that offensive rebound early in the first half and didn't go up with it, and then just kicked it back out. We ended up not making the shot, but it was just like, you're 7 foot tall. Why can't you just put it back? But yeah, I like it. Louisville has to go big. You're gonna see that lineup tomorrow to counter Duke's size. I like that. That's an adjustment. If we're wanting, Coach Kelsey to make adjustments, that's one of them potentially. And if Khalifa's going to bang home a couple of threes per game, or at least he's a threat to, that just it makes Louisville's offense that much more explosive. You're going to have you can have 5 shooters on the floor at the same time.
My biggest problem though is he'll hit 2 or 3 threes, but then he'll be dog shit in the interior. The only reason it looks okay is because Frew's picking up all the slack. That's my biggest problem. Is it's okay, it's sustainable, because I do see Frew out there working. He's the only big that actually plays like a big, and that's my biggest problem. So
somebody sitting behind me last night or yesterday at the Virginia Tech game goes, Khalifa's 7 foot and he plays like he's 5'6". I'm like, well, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But then too, you talk about Khalifa, you talk about Frew. Where's Case and Pryor? Yeah. If Zugris has passed him on the depth chart, which it looks like it has, I mean, that's a major piece coming off the bench that you thought you would have this year. That we're, I guess, not going to have.
Can I say, I know it's Virginia Tech, but I was a little bit impressed by some of the effort that Zugris had out there.
Yeah.
Like, he's playing much more physical. He's finally using, like I said, that body out there. He's finally using it and playing with a little bit of effort. No, is he the level I wanted to be at? No. But he looks competent.
Sure.
It's just something that I didn't think I'd be able to say this season. I thought he definitely was going to be, a project for that may take a couple
Give
of years.
us 3 or 4 minutes a game. Nothing crazy. If he can do that, get a couple offensive rebounds. He missed that one bunny on that offensive rebound. He's going to have to finish those, but grab a couple rebounds, get a bucket. All right. Same thing with Khalifa. Knock down a couple threes, get a couple rebounds. All right. You're doing your job.
Yep. All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate you all joining me today and talking about this. I just also, because I've been sick and I did not feel up to try to talk for an hour by myself. So I definitely appreciate it as well. Guys, anybody who's watching, if you do me a favor, bring it over to the YouTube channel, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. Make sure you join us there. We're bringing more and more content down the line, hoping to have more and more live stuff, all kinds of different stuff in the future. Also, make sure you consider joining the member squad if you haven't already. Otherwise, any other final words before we get out of here?
No, I got to win tomorrow. We'll be back. We'll be back on at noon. We'll have all of our normal shows. So despite the snow, we'll give you your free FM and AM radio. How does that sound?
Yeah, make sure you tune in 7 a.m. to 6 p. ESPN 680, 1057, of course, 939 The Ville as well. Ethan, did you have something else or?
Now, Cardinal Sweeney, I love it. I love the fact that he caught a Louisville win. You got a little pep in my step now. Okay, all right. I love it.
I just think I don't know why I feel that way. I don't have a good reason. They have not proven it. Duke has been a better team. I just think you can catch a team, maybe quick turnaround. You have something coming back in MIKEL Brown that's a little bit difficult, and the guys go out there and let's make shots. Make shots. If they lose by, like you mentioned, Ethan, if they lose by 9 or 10, and they can't guard the guard, you know what I'm saying? And I think the thing that worries, this would be my last thing. I think the thing that is good and bad is, Mike. It's been now a little while since MIKEL played in one of these games. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is I guess the last one would have been Arkansas. Am I wrong with that? I mean, Indiana, I guess.
No, you're right.
Indiana, he didn't score
Indiana,
much.
You can be Indiana.
In Indiana, he didn't score much. Good atmosphere, but a bad team. I mean, obviously a team I don't think is going to be a tournament team. I'm interested to watch him play within himself. You don't need dribble for 20 seconds NBA 3, right? And you didn't get that the other night. You're going to get a little bit of that. You're going to get a couple of those shots where you're like, all right, you got to let him you got to let him do his thing a little bit, right? Pat Kelsey,
Sure.
but I am interested to see how the team responds if they make the same mistakes that they made in the second half. I'm interested. John Shire really, I thought, outcoached Pat Kelsey in that game
He did.
a few weekends ago. How does that change? And you guys mentioned to go on the road, get a win, and this is like this is like a seed victory. This is like a seed or two victory. You win this game, you get a North Carolina, but a Clemson, a Miami, some of these quad ones, a couple quad two. That's the thing that's hurting Louisville. I think it's my computer died. Their quad two is real light. Like they have a lot of quad like 3 and 4. Like they to collect in the ACC along with the quad 1 like Kentucky's doing. They've helped their numbers out by just beating these quad 2 teams to get some of those. Man, it starts Monday night. Go get the win, knock down shots, have your best player be one of the best players on the floor. Don't get out coached in the second half like you have, and go win this game and improve your seeding. Improve. We're coming in here on Tuesday talking to you about you being a 4 or 5 seed.
And that's one of the things too. I just don't think I don't have confidence that the NCAA is going to do Louisville any favors when it comes to seeding down the line. Like, and what I mean more is like I don't think they respect PK enough to push him over that edge to give him like a 3 or even to a 4. I think you're like you said, no matter what they do, outside of winning the ACC tournament and getting a Duke and a North Carolina or something like that, you're probably looking at a 5. And I feel like is it the ceiling. So I don't know, but I just had to throw my negativity in there. I had to play victim.
Win on Monday.
That victim card had to be played.
The tournament committee was going to talk about Pat Kelsey. They're going to drop him a seed because they don't know anything about Pat Kelsey.
No, but but you know what I mean. They don't respect
they
him.
Didn't know
He's
anything
not
about Todd Golden last year. Todd Golden went out there and won the national title last year.
Well,
had a tournament win. How about that? Now you know about him.
Yeah. Well,
he also lost to Stephen Pearl this weekend, but that's besides the point.
That's a good point. Yeah, he did. Oh, all right, guys.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
You have a good week.